This is the Magnum Metro Plus 48 volts. Magnum is a US brand designed in Germany, made in China somewhere, and popular in New Zealand. The UI5, which is the previous generation bike with the low step, is probably one of the most popular bikes, or maybe second to the Smart Motion E-City, but it's certainly a very, very popular bike and well loved by those who have bought them. In this next generation, Magnum have stepped up to 48 volts over 36 volts in the previous iteration. What this effectively means is more power. When there's a constraint around the electronics, 48 volts means that you can supply about a third more power to the motor, and so you get up hills faster. I've been very impressed so far with this bike in the way that it rides and its power. It absolutely smoked it up my Grafton Gully Hill test. I haven't looked at the times yet, but I'm pretty confident it'll be one of the fastest bikes I've tested there. They've also gone with this one for a men's style frame, and I hate to use that term because anyone can ride this bike, of course, but it has got the traditional crossbar, and they've gone for the 700C wheels. When I've tested different bikes of a similar configuration, having the bigger wheels definitely makes it feel more stable on the road and a little bit more comfortable too. They've gone with Schwalbe Marathon tyres, which are nice, pretty puncture proof and long wearing. They've gone with hydraulic brakes this time as well, Tektro brand with the cutout switch so that it stops, the motor stops when you pull the brakes up a little bit. They're smooth and powerful and perfectly adequate. This time as well they've moved away from Bafang motor. There's something called DAS kit. I'll turn the display on so that you can see it. It's a nicely laid out display, tells you what you want. The speed is big and central, and you get to see everything else you might possibly want, all controlled through this fairly neat and low profile remote here. You can scroll through the options of 2 different trip times, the overall time. You can see your battery voltage. At the moment it's 49.5. It was at 52 when it was freshly charged. 6 different levels of power assist. Even on one it's got a fair amount of torque off a start. This bike probably needs a throttle, and I suspect that there's meant to be one here because of this little clue here, but this being a demo bike, they've probably taken it off because sometimes having that throttle might surprise people a little bit. It's also got an adjustable stem here. It's very easy to adjust the height and rake of the stem. I've got it a bit down further because that's how I prefer to ride. Really nice rack. It's wide enough to fit things without them flopping off. Comes with bungees. I'm sure you'll be able to hook a pannier on there, no problem at all. Nice mud guards. Again, that DAS kit motor. It looks very similar to a Bafang rear hub, so I wouldn't be surprised if it actually is a Bafang in disguise. Yeah, everything seems to be just fine. It's got a little guard to protect the derailleur and where the power comes into the rear axle. Nice Welgo pedals, decent sized platform. The pegs aren't too sharp, and it's got reflectors on. You'll see this is i6, which is the 6th generation. The old UI5 was the 5th generation. This is 6th. I also want to mention this battery. It's a 13 amp hour battery, which doesn't sound like anything remarkable, but remember it's running at 48 volts. So if you're looking at it in watt hours, that's over 600 watt hours of battery. That's actually pretty jolly good. And the other thing about this bike is its price. At $2,799 as it stands here, that is remarkable value. It's one of the cheaper bikes you can get. And if you look at it, there's really nothing to fault it. It's got everything you want. It's got a decent sized battery, so they haven't skimped there. It's got tremendous power. It really is impressive up hills. It's got these nice tyres that are puncture resistant. Schwalbe Marathon, that's quality stuff. Everything about it is actually very impressive. I believe it might even come with a suspension seat post as well, although this one being the demo model, I tend not to put a seat post on because you can't get it low enough with the seat post on, so most demo bikes tend to just have a normal fixed seat post. The only criticism I have, and this is seems to be a Magnum thing, is to make the lights such that you have to manually turn them on. So this headlight, you have to turn it on and off, this little switch on top. I don't know why they don't just leave them on. That would be so much better. Similarly around the back here, you've got to turn this light on and off manually. It's not powered by the main battery either, so it's got little, you can see through here, it's actually got regular old batteries. Now I imagine they last quite a long time, but it would be really nice if it could just be powered by the by the main battery, and just came on when you turn the bike on. So here we have it, 48 volt Magnum. It's also available, by the way, in similar configuration to the UI5, and in that one it has the low step frame, which is a very popular frame. It's been copied by just about every other brand as well, and it has the 26-inch balloon tires. It's probably a good idea to do that. For smaller riders, they might find this one a bit tall. You do need to cater to smaller riders too. This one, I think it's you only get it in one size. I'm reasonably tall and it fitted me just fine, so if I were a bit shorter I'd probably want to go for the Metro low step version, which is the 26-inch wheel one. And really, as I say, it is an absolute bargain at $2,799. These sell in the US at $2,000 US. If you do the maths, that works out at once you've included the exchange rate and GST, that's over $3,000. So we really are getting a steal here. Under the $3,000, I think this is probably the one of the best bikes that you can get at the moment in New Zealand. I've had an opportunity to ride it a fair bit now, and still very impressed. The speed and power is fantastic. Even 1 out of the 6 power assist levels is perfectly usable, has you going along at a nice pace. So I would thoroughly recommend this bike. Awkward starting on the bike because it's not a torque sensor, it's a cadence sensor, so it only starts giving you power when your pedals start to turn. I think it's meant to have a throttle in it, but this demo bike seems to be missing its throttle. I think that might be on purpose. We're doing 40 k's an hour. 41. Settled into its rhythm around about 36. part, of course. Drop down to 25. Back up to 30. Good run, I'll have to say.